For today's vlog, I will be discussing sexual morality in Christianity. To some, religion is controversial and complicated, while others feel religion is undisputed and direct. This dilemma divides individuals into two categories, believers and non-believers. For believers, religion is a belief for how individuals live their life. In Christianity, specifically, the Bible is the guidance for believers to follow. The collection of religious texts and scriptures sacred to Christians discusses the topic of sexual morality. Sexual morality is defined as the principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior sexually. Sexual morality coincides with sexual ethics, which is the study of ethics in relation to human sexuality and sexual behavior. Sexual ethics seeks to understand, evaluate, and critique the conduct of interpersonal relationships and sexual activities from social, cultural, and philosophical perspectives. Sexual ethics involves issues such as sexual morality. The sexual ethics of a culture are usually affiliated closely with the religion of that culture, which again assigns moral value to certain aspects of sexual expression. For example, the determination of whether rape, molestation, or adultery is morally wrong varies from culture to culture and is often tied to the level of influence religion has on that region. From the beliefs of Christianity, I believe this religion's significance is to resolve to end one's immoral behavior. Sexual immorality to believers is not conforming to God's revealed laws governing sexuality. According to Christianity, God designed sexual intercourse as an enjoyable expression of love between a human, correction, between a husband and a wife to bond their relationship together. It was also designed so that children could be born into a loving and committed family. Sexual relationships outside marriage were forbidden by God. In today's society, sex seems to not be as associated to love as the Bible suggests and depicted more as an act out of lust. I personally do believe in God, but I myself have went against this belief like many others. It appears sometimes the feeling or desire of wanting something known as lust outweighs obedience. In Christianity, it is believed that our bodies are members of Christ himself. In the Bible, it states, "He who unites himself with the Lord is one with him in spirit." This statement is important because it emphasizes the importance of being close to God. To honor God is to practice morality and escape from sexual dishonesty. Christianity, providing standards to abide by, can be a huge positive. Individuals who follow this illustration can avoid the transgressions of this world, and I believe this would lead to a more peaceful and understanding society. On the other hand, it brings the question of, can one enjoy life following religious beliefs? Fun is not always related to the term of religion. To some, to some individuals, the Bible's restrictions take away some enjoyments out of life. My belief is correction. I believe that if we start living our lives with immoral practices, the adaptation of restrictions relayed by religion is harder to maintain. For example, if one's norm is working a 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. job, making a transition to a 5 p.m. to a 9 a.m. job will be a lot harder. Just because we are accustomed to how we live our lives does not mean that how we live is right. It is believed that God requires us to use self control in sexual matters. I feel like it may be hard for some to abide by God's revealed laws because sexual immorality is a temptation that is always before us, while marriage is often portrayed as confining and joyless. In movies, television, music, and social media, sex outside marriage is treated as a normal part of life and brings more enjoyment. Changing this depiction of marriage and reducing sexual illusions in media could lead to a shedding of the light of the importance of love, practicing morality sexually, and rise to religious believers. Self control does not mean just controlling what we do, it also means controlling our thoughts. The Bible states that anyone who looks at someone lustfully has already committed adultery in his or her heart. The desire to have sex with someone other than your spouse is mental adultery and thus sexually immoral. If the act is wrong, then so is the intention. Believers feel sexual immortality the is to not know God. And the Bible states that the Lord will punish individuals for all such sins against impure actions. To some, this may be drastic, and the consequence does not fit the crime, but others may feel all sins are weighed equally and should be dealt with. We should definitely be held accountable for all of our actions, but I do believe no one is perfect. Outside of religion, when someone breaks the law, we consider the consequence that fits the crime. If we apply the same belief as in religion to law, anyone who breaks the law would receive the same and worse consequence. Having the proper principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior sexually is important and a law to abide by in the Christian belief, but also outside of the religion. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.